I was gonna say, I think it was in high school that I first got inspired to make movies. When we were in high school, our English teacher would let us turn in projects as a short film. So like, we read novels like Beowulf, we read novels like A Brave New World, and then our teacher would let us make short films to kind of give our interpretation of what we read. I went to the University of Texas at Austin. I actually went in as a computer science major because I did, like computers and I did like math. But then of course, it turned out not to be my cup of tea. What I like about film school, and the biggest, I know a lot of people say like, oh, I don't need to go to film school, I'll just, spend the money doing a movie. The only reason I recommend film school is because it's a place you can make mistakes. Every good film director has a closet of bad short films. The reason I came back here to do movies, actually I always tried to do my shorts or I even did a feature film after college. And even during college I did another one. I just did those because I wanted to learn, but El Paso was the place to do it. Film was not common here. So when people ask you, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just shooting a home movie or I'm shooting a student film, nobody would care. The sun was always out. I know a lot of filmmakers don't take that in heart, but we have like 300 days of sun. But that helped a lot. And of course the terrain, you can go up to White Sands, you can go to Ruidoso, you can go to Marfa. Like there's just a lot of variety here. I've worked with a lot of other filmmakers who are from El Paso, like Dakota Thomas, like Mikey Reyes, like Giuliano Sosa. A lot of times it was mostly through communication, connection, somebody knew somebody. That's the one advantage I do have of being here in El Paso after I came back from Boston, is that I did get to know the film community a lot. So when they were asking for resources like, okay, well, who does hair and makeup? Where can you find these actors? Where can you find this, gaffer, grips, all that kind of stuff. And then it's just more of like, oh, okay, yeah, let me tell you all these guys or girls I've worked with, and we can get them all together on this project. So when I wrote my second feature, Hands of God, that was based on stories that my dad had told me. Again, I was looking for a drama and just a topic, and he'd always told me these crazy stories. So I just thought like, hey, this would be kind of cool if we did something like this, but with this kind of perspective. So that movie is very much a collection of mostly stories, not so much his experiences, but he would just tell me all this stuff. There would be, a lot of times they would work, 18, 24 hours per day. And then he would just kind of tell me like, oh yeah, this guy was doing like, he's drinking just to stay awake, this one's doing cocaine, this one's doing this, and it's just one of those things that you just have to do. And he's just like, I just saw it everywhere. You're seeing death all the time. It's like, you come in, you do your best, someone dies, you got to shrug it off and move on. So that's kind of the theme that I was trying to communicate with Hands of God. What a good producer does is they kind of rally the troops. They, go through all the contracts, they get all the staff together and they say, okay, you need this, this, and this. I need you guys in these positions so that the director can have his creative vision and he's not worried about, any technical problems, any lighting problems, any audio problems. And then as a director, you at the same time also need to be aware that that's what the producer is doing. So, it's kind of one of those things you also need to make, as a director, you also need to make a connection to the crew as well. So you know that they're all out there, there for you. Communication is always the biggest thing. And of course the director is the leader on set, but both require very high social skills. So I can always tell people, if you want to direct, just sit down and have a conversation with someone and look them straight in the eye. See how long you could do it before you start looking down.
Okay.
All right.
And that's a wrap, man.
Is that the last one?
Yeah, that's everybody.